Hello, YouTube world. This is Johnny Mo. We haven't been in the office for a while. Today's the day I'm going to give you the game plan. Stay tuned. Hello, my YouTube world. This is Johnny Mo coming to you today with the game plan. I get this question a lot. How do you do this? Why do you do this? What's going on? How do you buy all this equipment, sell it, and you keep doing it? I just don't understand. So I want to go over how my mind thinks about this business. What I'm about to go over is going to be the most important part of your business, over marketing, over which deck, over mowing, landscaping. This is the most important. This is by far, if you can't get this down, I don't care how much marketing you got, I don't care how much work you got, you're just spinning your wheels, and there's going to come a point in life where you're just going to stop and like, what did I just do for the last decade? So I'm very big into sports. I play a game with this business, and I start the game April 1st. And before you start the game, you have to have a game plan. You have to know the rules of the game. You have to, you know, if you want to play the game, you got to scout the other team. You want to win this game. So I've said this so many different times before, but what I do is I have a budget for the house. You have to know your numbers to play this game. So I have a budget for my house and my business. Johnny, you can't do that, Johnny. You can't do that's not how you do, you know. You can't mix business and personal, blah, blah, blah. I've been doing this for almost 2 decades, this game, and it works. And I want to explain to you, if you'll play the game just for 4 to 5 years, if you can do this right, you could put $50,000 away in your savings account and get ahead in life and stop having life beat you up. So stay tuned, and I want you to stay tuned to this whole video. So the first thing I do is I get on Excel, and what I do is I start putting in all my bills on the left side. On the right side, I put how much they are monthly. And my gas bill, my water bill, my cable bill, my internet bill, my electric bill, my whatever bills I have to pay, my car payments, my house payment, whatever payments I have. And then I start putting in my business stuff. If you have a mower payment, whatever you have, just in that month. And I'm just going to lump it all in. And then I'll sum it all up. And at the bottom, their number will come up. Whatever your insurance is monthly, whatever you pay, your trash bill, whatever you have to pay, whatever's coming in and going out of your house, your groceries, everything, how much you spend on fuel. You break it down into all these different categories that come out monthly. Your kids' clothes, whatever that may be. You know, I know you don't buy your kids' clothes every month, but you might want to break that down from a yearly to a monthly and put that away. Put that in a separate envelope. So when it's time, you know, Christmas, you know, Easter, whatever, you know, every year Christmas comes, you know, so might as well put it in the budget. Say, listen, you know, we're going to spend about $4,000 on Christmas this year. We need to put that money away. And obviously everyone's income's different, everyone's budget's different, but let's just give you a roundabout number. Let's say that my nut to crack is $3,000. I got to do $3,000 a month to pay for my life. So once you know that, once you know what it takes to run You Inc., and the problem with landscape people or people who cut grass, they don't think of themselves as a real business. They just think, I'm working hourly, I'm going out there, I'm making some money, I'm making a living. But you got to treat it like You Inc., like Johnny Inc. And so you got $3,000 to crack. So every month I got to get $3,000, and then I got to make at least another $3,000 to put away for the winter. See, this is the game I play. Every year, I'm in a fight to get through the winter. If you live in the Northeast or the Midwest, you have a shortened season. About 7-8 months is what you get. So you have to have enough money to get through the winter. So that's as soon as April 1st hits, the game is on for me. I've said this before, this is a great saying, I begin with the end in mind. I am thinking about 2021. I am not thinking about 2020. I am thinking about 2021 right now, because I know that in January I'm not going to have any income from this business. So I have to be thinking about that. most landscapers right now, what they're doing is running around like a chicken with their head cut off, can't find their phone, can't figure out what they're doing or how they're doing it, and then all of a sudden 2021 shows up, they have no money in the bank, they have nothing, and they're like, I don't understand what happened, because you're not beginning with the end in mind. This is a game to me. I'm very big into athletics. I love games, and I play to win this game. So let me jump ahead. So in most games, there's quarters. Basketball, football, there's periods, there's quarters, there's 4 quarters, 4 periods. So what I do is April and May is the first quarter. June and July is the second quarter. August, September is the third quarter. October, November is the fourth quarter. Now, I realize that once November hits, the work's going to slow way down. In October, you're doing leaves, you're cleaning up, you're not doing a bunch of fertilizing anymore, you're not doing a bunch of pruning anymore, all the mulching's done. So now you're relying just basically on leaf cleanups, and that's how much you can get. So your income's going to take a drop. So in knowing that, by September, Labor Day, I want to have, if my goal is $3,000, I need to have about $12,000 to $15,000 saved so I can get through January, February, March, April to May 15th, those 4 months. Because you'll work in April and then checks will start rolling around first or second week in May. So you need to get to May 15th. So I take it out to June. So 5 months. I need 5 months. January, February, March, April, May. I need 5 months to pay my bills before I can generate income. So that means I would need about $15,000, between $12,000 and $15,000 to get through that little section of time, because that's how the season goes. So the game is on. The game is on. Right now, I am stockpiling money into my winter fund. Now, so here's what happens. You're going to have some really good years. You're going to have some off years. So what happens is, let's say you get it done by July 4th. You stockpile your 15 grand. Well, guess what? Everything after that is all that profit, all that extra money goes towards equipment, updating your business, doing this, taking family vacations, blah, 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 because you're set. You have your money. So I want to know the game is won by the third quarter. I don't want to be stressing going into the fourth quarter. Now, that's a 1-year game. Now, anything you do after November is called overtime. So I play a second game. The second game is, I have snow plowing stuff. So I already got my 15 grand. So the second game is, let's not touch the 15 grand. Let's not touch the 12, 15,000. Let's play another game now. So now I'm hustling through snow season. I'm trying to get through. And so what happens is, if you do this and you get enough snow or you have a winter job, all of a sudden you do this for 4 years, and all of a sudden you haven't touched your winter fund, maybe here and there. In 4 or 5 years, you have $50,000 to $60,000 sitting in a savings account. And then something like the coronavirus shows up, where you don't know what's going to happen. Who's sweating? Not you, because you've already been playing a game. You got enough between you and life. Johnny, how do you buy all this stuff, Johnny? Blah, 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 blah. Well, when you've been playing a game for so long, you get so far ahead in life that you can buy, what is a $300 weed eater when you got $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 like, what is that? What is a weed eater when you're 20 grand in the bank and your bills are only $1,000 a month? What a backpack blower, whatever it is to make your life easier. That's what I'm talking about, getting ahead in life. What is it when you got $150,000, $200,000 sitting in the bank? All from playing a little bit of a game. And that's all this is to me. To win the game, you got to know the numbers. This is all this is to me, is a game. And snow, when I added snow removal, it changed, because my bank account used to go like this. It'd go way up, then it would come down a little bit, and then you'd have to bring it back up. When I added snow, it just went like this. Now, this year was the first year in about 5 years the month of March was the only month that I had to take out my monthly bills because I didn't make any money in March. So my April bills had to be paid through the winter fund. That's the first time in 5 years, guys. So right now, I am packing away my monthly bills. Another 12, 15,000, 18,000, whatever my monthly bills are. But think about that. Your monthly bills might only be $1,000, so you might only need $6,000. But what if you had that $6,000 and you had that $6,000 by August? So that means you can update your business with the extra money that you have. Because you're set. You're going to get through your winter. Oh, Johnny, I live down south. Well, you have a mowing season. It slows down in the winter. You might go every other week. It slows down so you can still play the game. Maybe you do yours 3 months or 4 months at a time. 4 quarters, 4 months. But you still play the game. To me, this is just a big game. And that's how I do it. I literally look at this as a game. But you cannot win the game if you're not willing to know the rules of the game. If you're not willing to know how much it costs to run U Inc. That's just, you don't need to know all that. If I got money sitting at the end of the month, I'm good. Then don't play the game. Keep being broke. Keep wondering why you're not getting ahead. Keep wondering why you can't get new equipment. How did you get a $50,000 truck, Johnny? Because I know my numbers. I know where I need to be. How do you buy a new mower? You sell blah, blah, blah. I told you in the one video how I do it. I get a mower. I mow with it. I try to put 100 to 200 hours on it. I try to get as much information on the mower as I can, like what's a hydro change look like? How are the blades to change? How is it for greasing? How is it for oil changes? How is it produced in different seasons? You don't know that. They're not going to let you do that. You don't know that. So say I bought a mower for $8,000. And then when I don't like it or whatever the reason is, okay, I'm selling it for $7,000. You're getting a 200-hour mower or for $1,000. But you can't go and buy that. Every year they go up about $500-600. So if you go try to buy the same mower, you're going to pay. I paid $8. It's going to be $85 by the time you go. So for $1,500 less, you get a brand new mower. It's already broken in and it's been well taken care of. You're getting blades. You're getting all the extra stuff that I did to it. Think about that. So basically, I probably, at bare minimum, cut at least $16,000 with it. Now, this last mower, I added it up. I cut around a little over $16,000 with it. I sold it early because I didn't like the oil change. I did not like the hydraulic oil change. I wasn't going to sit there for 3 hours. I just wasn't going to do it. I just didn't like it. The one I sold before that, I did not like how heavy it was. So I sold it. That's all there is. I sold it. I got rid of it. It was too heavy. I was constantly pulling it out of wet spots. I was leaving mud marks, ruts everywhere. It was just too heavy. It was over 1,400 pounds plus me, plus, it's just too heavy. So I got rid of it. And that's how I play the game. So I am so far ahead that buying blowers and weed whackers and selling them isn't a big deal to me. It's just, see ya. You don't know. I could scrap all the steel stuff, the FCO stuff, and go all Red Max tomorrow because I'm that far ahead. It just doesn't matter. But that's the game I play. April, May is the first quarter. June, July is the second quarter. We're in June. We're already in the second quarter. I had 2 monster months already. Huge. June and May and April and May were huge. So I stockpiled so much money already. But I've never had to touch my winter money because of the second game I play. Now that might not be you. You might not be able to do winter stuff, but there might be some other stuff, part-time job, whatever, until you get so far ahead that you're winning the game. And that's why it doesn't matter. Okay, you lose 3-4 accounts. It's not the end of the world. Corona comes, they shut down your business. Boom, you're ahead. As soon as it happened, I calculated out how far I was. How far can I go? How far can I go before things get really drastic around here? Like last year, we had our heater and our air conditioner went, and I had to buy a whole new unit in April. April's the worst month to have to do something like that. But it had to be done. But I was so far ahead, I never touched my My winter fund, that $7,000, $7,000 here, blum, 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 blum. My winter fund, this no big deal. Oops. Because I've been playing the game so long, you get so far ahead. Now it's just so fun just to keep playing it and keep doing it. But you got to know your numbers. So the first thing you need to do is sit down with an Excel spreadsheet, write down all your monthly bills. I want to know everything that I put out in this house. I want to be able to pay everything through this business. And that's just how I do it. Obviously, there are other streams of income that come into this house. My wife is a teacher. I have some other side stuff that I do that we just don't talk about here. There's other monies that do come into the house, not just lawn care money. But you put that in there, we win the game, man. And I want you to win the game. That's what I do. That's how I do it. It's so simple. If you have a drought for a couple months, you're ahead of the game, guys. You can get through that. You only have to pay a couple months worth of bills. And usually it doesn't dry out to the point where you can't get anything. You know what I mean? You can go out, do some pruning, do something, if your monthly bill is $3,000, go out every week and try to tick away. I got you. I don't want to touch that money. I want to pick away. I got my monthly goal. I won again this month. I want to know before the year starts. It's nice going in to a year that you're so far ahead. It's so hard for life just to beat you. It's so hard for the other team to come back because you're so far ahead. Sure, there's things that come up that take big chunks out of it. Your heater and your air conditioning go. You have a massive breakdown. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. My garage wall caved in, and I had to have it lifted and re-bricked and re-sided and all of that stuff. But when you're ahead of the game, that doesn't become a problem. When you're irritated by every little thing, when the rain is too much and you're irritated because you can't get ahead in life because I need it mowed. You gotta get done. You're playing the game wrong. When I hear that stuff and I see that stuff, I know that you don't sit down and know your numbers. You don't know what you need to make monthly. I know it. If you're every year you're struggling, you do not know your numbers. Hey, you just gotta get more jobs. You gotta get this. You don't know your numbers. It doesn't matter how many jobs you get. You don't even know how to properly price. Some people's bills are $45 an hour to pay all their bills, and they're charging $35, and they don't realize why they can't get ahead. It looks good in April, May, and June when the money's rolling, and then July gets a little dry. You run through your work, like, what's going on here? What's going on? Guys, that's my time. This is too long. That's the secret. That's the game I play. I don't know how to play it any other way. I try to make it as simplistic as possible. Listen, we're mowing grass. We're taking tall grass and making it short. You might as well make as much money as you can. That's my time, Johnny Moe.